Have a seat and welcome. So we wanted to go through some of the opportunities that you have as you are thinking about classes for next year. I am Ms. Hannigan. I'm the Introduction to Education teacher, and so I will do a little explaining of Introduction to Education, and then we'll go on to School to Work and Apex. Intro to Ed is a dual credit class for only seniors who are considering teaching as their career choice. So if you're thinking about teaching, you don't take School to Work, you take Introduction to Education. And some of the requirements for this class, you need your own vehicle because you will do like an internship where you're going to go out to other schools. You need a very conservative professional wardrobe because the school district has a policy on dress for teachers. You really need to like children, so if you don't really love children, this is probably not the class or the profession for you. You need a very good sense of responsibility because you are in a classroom with small children and people who are waiting on you and expecting things out of you. And as far as how much time this takes, it's third and fourth block, both first and second term, and that's always every single year. So as you look at your schedule, you have to take both first and second term, and it's a 3-hour class, so that's how it's third and fourth block. You actually will sign up for 2 courses. So the first one in the catalog is Introduction to Education, and this is a DMAT course, so it's EDU 213, and we meet Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays on that third and fourth block. And then you have to complete 40 hours of class observation, and those are done on Thursdays and Fridays, third and fourth block. And I have you scheduled into 2 different schools, an elementary school and a secondary school. And you will spend 20 hours in each one and complete, that's part of the requirements of that first course. You, in order to take this class, really need college level skills. This is a true college course with college expectations. We read out of a college textbook, and so you need grade level reading skills, and our reading assignments are comparable to the college assignments. So it is very typical to have 20 to 30 pages of reading in a night. We also do a lot of writing, so you need to have competent writing skills. We write 3 to 7 page papers, as well as a lot of 1-page journals. And the writing load for this class is equivalent to an advanced English class, and I know because I teach that as well. So if you are thinking about going into the field of education, it takes a lot of reading and a lot of writing. So to take this class and think, well, I don't really have to read out of a textbook because I usually don't, or I don't really like to work on papers, that's a big mistake because those are requirements. In the second term, you sign up for the Intro to Education internship. In the course catalog, it's the one right below the Introduction to Education class. And it meets, we as a class meet 1 day a week for third and fourth block. And then students are in practicum 4 days a week, third and fourth block. So in total, you complete 100 hours of practicum internship during the second term. And during that term, you complete daily journals, you have to do competency write-ups, so there's more writing, and you do various projects. Students teach individual and small group lessons. So they work with individual students, they work with small groups of students. Some of the kids who are in the secondary level, which is the middle school, actually teach entire classes. There's an application process. You need to print and fill out the application form that's on my blog. And I'm under the English department. That can be confusing, so don't look for Introduction to Education. Look for my name under English. And you need 3 teacher references. One of them needs to be either your current English teacher that you have or the English teacher that you had your last English teacher. So 3 recommendations from teachers. One of them has to be your English teacher. And once you get into the program, then I contact you and you need to work with me on your practicum placement. Where is it that you think you want to go? And applications, just like everybody else's applications, are due to Jody Weller and Student Services by January 12th.
Hello, I am Mindy Heitland. I am the School to Work Coordinator at Waukee, and Mr. Carlson, Mr. Scott Carlson, is also a School to Work Coordinator for the program as well. A little bit about School to Work. Our program's been around about 20 years. What this is, it's an internship program. They're college level internships that you have the opportunity to do as a senior. Once you've kind of decided, I want to go into this career field, this is your chance to go out and work in the specific field of your choice up to 15 hours a week to learn more if this is what I want to do. You've taken all the classes in the high school. Let's say you want engineering. You've taken every engineering class. You've been in the Apex engineering program. Now you want to go out and learn how to do it. You want to actually do work. These jobs are not going to go file and clean and just punch the clock. These are college level internships that you're doing the same thing as a Drake junior, senior, or Iowa State. Most of our students are working on other college kids in their internships doing the same exact thing. So because of that, of these jobs, we have a interview process to get into the program. There's a selection process for this. This is your chance for this program. Once selected, you have a chance to try out and see if this is what you really like. I have students who will take all their accounting classes. They've gone through the whole sequence or business classes, and I know for sure I want to be an accountant, and then they go out and work in the field, and they find out one of three things. I love it. This is what I want to do. This is exactly with accounting. They find out, nope, this isn't it. They'll still have a great experience. I learned a ton, but I know I don't want to go into accounting. Or they find out, I didn't even realize you could do all these other types of jobs related to accounting. And I think that's the biggest aha for these students once they get into the program. And so it's just a great opportunity to go and work people's resumes, your resumes. A student walking out of the School to Work program now has 8 months of legit work experience on their resume, not Subway, not the mall, nothing against those, but they've worked for Wells Fargo, they've worked for a financial institution, they've worked for banks, they've worked for the Iowa Cubs, whatever they want to go into, and they've built some pretty phenomenal references as well. They now have, they're working at a surgery center, going into scrubbing in with the doctors every single day and watching surgeries or helping assist with surgeries, and the doctors are now their references for this. You do get DMAC credit for the program. How we have this set up, term one, you're going to take the School to Work class for DMAC. This is called career development, resume writing, interview skills. We hit it hard. Everything in the class is legit what employers say, we need kids to know this. And it changes every year, and we just take the time and train you in what it takes to be a great employee. And so how to get along with coworkers. We spend the first few weeks doing some career assessments, so if you're not sure what you want to do, we take a lot of tests and do a lot of job shadowing and informational interviewing to kind of help you narrow it down. But by the time you get to the internship, you really have to be pretty specific knowing what you want to do because we're sending you out in a specific field. Terms 2, 3, and 4. So 95% of our kids are working 2 blocks a day at their internships. They're going to class first, second block, and then they're going out and working from 12 to 3 every day. I bet almost every single one of our kids is in an extracurricular sport, band, choir, speech, something, part-time job after school. That's never a conflict. We'll make sure that you're to your extracurricular. You can leave at 2:30 and make sure you're back in time for practices or anything that you might have. But usually it's 15 hours a week. We usually say 3 hours a day, 5 days a week. Our healthcare kids, they're usually working mornings. They'll go in pretty early because doctors scrub in pretty early. And our business, financial, things like that, engineers, they're going to work more afternoon hours because a lot of times they want to stay and work more hours. The majority of our internships, over 3/4 of them are paid positions, anywhere from a weekly stipend to hourly wages, $8, $9, $10 an hour, depending on what your field is. And so you're paid for the work you're doing because it's not so much training you and teaching you all the time and working on stuff, but you're actually in a position that they would hire someone for. So that is a perk of the position. We can be flexible too. So a student who works down at Channel 5 News, they might work a 2 to 5 job, because more happens with the news after school than there might happen in the middle of the day. So we're pretty flexible with hours and with your schedule. You must have your own car. You have to get to and from wherever you're going in the metro. Please know that background checks, drug testing, whatnot, may be required at your jobs. Because you are going to be an employee of their company, you're going to need to do whatever they say required for their other employees. And like I said, some of these are paid. You need 5 to 7 blocks. We have a few internships that are starting in January. So maybe a student had a full load. They had to take term 2, so they couldn't start their internships yet. We can be pretty flexible. And so some students will only work a January to May internship. Some could work an October to March internship. There is some flexibility depending on your schedule and the business's schedule, so just ask. We have an interview process. This program, we take about 60 to 65 students every year, and that's it. We have an interview process. You'll fill out an application, and after that application is filled out, we look at a couple different things, and this is all driven by the employers. You have to have excellent attendance, because employer says you have to be there every day and you have to be there on time. If your attendance isn't great right now, it could be conditional acceptance, and then we're going to check it again at the end of the year and make sure you got to show us you can clean it up, because we absolutely can't have you going to a job and just not showing up. That's a total deal breaker. That's a big deal. We look at GPA. GPA is not going to keep you out of it, but you have to be passing your classes in order for us to send you somewhere else away for the day. We also look at your discipline record. Again, your discipline record doesn't keep you out of it, but I'm not going to send a student to the bank if they've been caught stealing. The employer will never hire you. And one thing I will say, Mr. Carlson and I was going to say Mr. Heitland. Mr. Carlson and we can spend the time prepping you for a job and getting you ready for an internship. At the end of the day, you have to pass it. You have to pass the interview. We'll find you the interview. You have to get the job yourself, and we have a pretty good success rate, but if they're going to go look at your Twitter, if they're going to go look at some other things, that might be a deal breaker. So that's a big thing that when we're looking at selecting you, that is a factor. Mr. Carlson and I will also sit down once your applications are turned in a timely manner. We will sit down and do an interview with you, and that's mostly just to figure out what do you want to do. If you want to go into engineering, if you never have taken an engineering class, it's probably not going to fly, because businesses need you to come in and be able to hit the ground running. If you've taken APAC, our students who are in there right now, they've already either taken APACs or they've taken classes in the engineering strand, and they're able to jump right in, and it's a perfect fit. But companies don't have time a lot of times to train you. Sometimes some companies will ask for your CNA if you want to go in the medical field. So a lot of it's just a conversation. What do you want to do? Do we even have jobs in that? Someone this year wanted to be a pilot. We can't send you in the air. We've looked, we've tried, it's not an option. But pretty much from a dietitian, we've approved the pharmacist, we've got, legit experiences. So there are some prerequisites. The last thing we say is you have to have 3 teacher recommendations. So you are going to give teacher recommendations to the teachers. Would you please fill this out for me? Don't slide it under their door. Don't throw it on their desk. If you're asking for a reference, and they will fill those out, because there's so many of you. We don't know everything about you, but we're looking for some solid. Overall, we're looking for some solid kids, hard workers, who are passionate about what they want to do, who will work really, really hard to be there every day. That's what we need, and this is just an unbelievable experience to learn more about it. So what you need to do to apply for the program, if you're not sure, because there's a lot of kids, I don't know if I should do APEX or school to work or intro to ed, let us help you and kind of narrow it down for you to what would be the best option. The application and teacher recommendations are on the block. It's a simple application. Fill it out. There is a paragraph you need to write telling us what you want to do. Just explain basically what you want to do. But so many people forget to write that. That's another thing we're looking for. Make sure you do all the steps. And then print the teacher recommendations and pass those out to your teachers. We have had a lot of students apply for this program, and a lot of Apex kids who've been very successful look for some internships. So it is a competitive process, but there's no GPA requirement, there's nothing that will keep you out of it besides what I talked to you before. Those applications that you're going to turn in will go to Jody Weller in the counselor's office. by January 12th, the same as intro ed. Once we get those, it's going to be a really quick turnaround. We're going to get them, and then we're going to post interview times on our school to work office doors. They'll be posted on the blog, and then you're going to pick up passes from Jody, and we'll just sit down, meet with you, talk about what you want to do, see what you're interested in what your background is, and then we'll do interviews the third week of January. With that, we'll post who's been accepted the week following that, so you know for SPA conferences. Where they're at, you name it, vets. I haven't been able to get a vet kid for 2 years. I didn't used to be a vet. I got all sorts of vet jobs. You get to intubate animals, draw blood. Now they're letting kids draw blood from humans, so, pretty much anything. Chamber of Communications, Public Relations out at Blake Children's Hospital. They put on a Festival of Trees. We've got marketing. We have, all the medical stuff, physical therapy. We have a kid who's a research scientist at Pioneer. Dental, sports management, insurance. We have a kid at the Capitol, Amir, you see him every day, he's in a suit. Down at the Capitol, he's going to go places. But whatever you're possibly thinking of, we probably have some. And if not, if you don't see, you name it, we've probably had a kid do it. If there's something else you're thinking of, hey, how about this? We'll do whatever we can to find that area or that job for you. I encourage you to talk to any of the other kids. This is a little picture. AJ Allen does not go here anymore. But any of these kids, or any of the kids from this year, if you know them, talk to them, ask them questions, come and see us, because it is kind of a specific program, and but a great one to make, to help. College is expensive. It's a great opportunity to figure out what I want to do. I think it's accounting. Let's go work in it and see what it is. So, thank you.
I'm incredibly honored to be here today to talk to you about our Aspiring Professional Experience program. Before we get started, I'd like to have Justin switch it over and show you a video that can sum it up much better than I can.
Apex is innovative. It's like nothing you have experienced in a typical class. You solve real-world problems on projects that you are passionate about. Apex gives you the opportunity to explore your areas of interest in a visionary environment that lets you take the lead in your education journey. Apex is flexible. Time and space is flexible in Apex. You have the chance to set your own meeting times, work in creative spaces, and have a voice in your own learning. You get to work at some of the most incredible spaces in the city, including the Waukee Innovation and Learning Center that will open next year. Apex is opportunity. This program is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to set you apart and to help you make decisions about your future at an earlier age. You'll be a step ahead entering college and career, both in skills and experiences. These opportunities will give you an edge and prepare you for your future.
Apex is connected. In Apex, you will get connected to some of the best business partners in the Des Moines area and throughout the state and nation. Partners are committed to helping you get better technically and professionally. Business experts also become part of your career network, mentoring you in college and career questions and helping you bring your ideas to life. Apex is growth. You will grow in so many ways, not just technically, but professionally, in skills that will serve you well on any path that you choose. You will be able to explore who you are as a person and what you value. You will develop your own brand and portfolio to help you make decisions about future schools and job opportunities that will be the best fit for you. Apex is family. It is fun to be part of a close-knit group, working towards amazing projects and succeeding with important goals. Once you are a part of this family, you are supported throughout your whole life with alumni services, business startup support, and career planning and networking opportunities.
Get started by filling out your interest form today at waukeeapex.org.
several reasons. One was to give our juniors and seniors an opportunity to try out some innovative learning opportunities, to have you have the chance to explore career potential possibilities before you actually have to go to college and spend money in a major where you may end up switching. So that time value of being able to say that is really helpful. All the courses that we develop are developed in conjunction with our business partners. We have an advisory board of 21 of the top business and industry people in the entire state that help us design our strands. We have business professionals that sit in and help us design all of our curriculum. So everything that we do is directly tied to jobs in this state. That is the whole purpose, is that we're trying to create an early pipeline of young professionals to go into these jobs. Almost all of our strands have jobs waiting for students right now that I don't have spots to fill. So we've had incredible opportunities for our students to go on to internships. They're interested in handing out scholarships to get you fast-tracked into these positions, and I don't have enough of you guys to fill it. So that was part of the program. The other part that I find really exciting is that it's all problem-based inquiry learning. It's not sit and get. I'm sorry that's what you're doing today. But it's not like your typical classroom. Everything that you work on is a problem or a solution for a real business. We don't do anything that's not value added back to our community or to our business partners. So it's real stuff. And I would like really quickly, anybody that's in the room that's in Apex, students, either stand, raise your hand, wave. I want, go ahead. Right? Professional skills. They're around. These are the best people that you can talk to. Put a face with it. Thank you, guys. They can help you understand how motivating it is to work for real business partners, to get connected with those people. All of those business partners are truly committed to helping you figure out what you want to do, get you connected with the right jobs, the right skills, to start. We've had several startups out of this program, and we'll have more. So any of those ideas that you have, any solutions that you want to try out, we have people that we can connect you with to help start those. The other really great thing is that all of our classes are in satellite locations all over the city. So you saw in the video there are some really amazing spaces that our business partners allow us to work in. So one of the things that you have to be able to do is to drive to those places, not just the host sites, but also to your client meetings. But we're out in satellite locations, and a little bit further in the slideshow here, I'll show you some of the 3D renderings of the new Waukee Innovation and Learning Center that will be our hub. It will not be like a school building, it's a co-working space, and some of our business partners will be working in there every day, but that will be one of our meeting spaces. We would like to give you as much head start as we can ahead of all of your peers that are heading off to college. So I think if you ask any of the people that just raised their hand or stood up, one of the best things that they've gotten out of it is the ability to have those professional skills, confidence to talk to professors, to stand up and meet with business partners, to go into an interview and not be scared. Those are all some of those professional skills that we work on with you. And they all have high school and college credit. If you go to our website, under About, there's frequently asked questions. So if you have questions about how many credits, all of that's listed there. So there's a lot of questions I'm sure you have, and I would encourage you to check out that site. What you do need. There are no prerequisites and there are no GPA requirements for any of our courses. So if you're somebody that has missed 80 days of school because you've just kind of been checked out, we want you. We can help you. We can help you find motivation in school. If you haven't taken all the engineering classes, we can help scale you up and just meet you where you are. We do just-in-time education, especially in some of our medical, and we don't have medical terminology classes here other than maybe what you might get in chem or bio or anatomy. So when you're about ready to go out and meet with a neurologist, they will actually sit down with you and teach you what you need just in time to have you be successful with those clients. Real quick while I'm thinking, if there are Apex teachers in the building, will you guys kind of wave? So we've got Dr. Michael Lyons, medical, Mr. Russ Guerin in the back, does design and communications, Dr. Holly Showalter up front, that does medical, and Cindy Snell that does our global foods. I would encourage you, if you have an interest or questions, stick around after, and we actually have a few seats if you guys don't want to wait. We have a few seats for spring that we're trying to fill. We may have filled them all today with our zoo animals here. But if you have questions and you want to get into a spring class, just stick around and I'll help you get settled. But what we ask is that you do have professional dress. That's part of the requirement because you are out working in businesses. We ask for transportation. We want you to have a willingness to be coached. So, as I mentioned, anybody can get in, but you need to be adding value back to your business partners and you need to be showing growth. We will coach you, we will help you, we have your back all the way through this. But if you're not adding value back to our business partners, you can opt yourself out of the program. Okay, so you can get in, but you can kind of get yourself out too. There's an expectation there that you're getting better and that you're helping our business partners. So willingness to be coached and willingness to add value to our business partners, you do need 2 blocks for 2 terms open. We do have classes in the morning and afternoon, so I know we get a lot of questions from band and choir students, can I do this? Yes, we have afternoon classes and we'll have more sections. We certainly want to fill our sections with as many Waukee students as possible. We're about ready to open seats to other school districts, so make sure that if you're interested in this, you either fill out the interest form so we can help you pick which class is best, and make sure that you register with your advisor during SPA conferences to get yourself a slot, because those seats will fill with other districts as we work through that. So we have several what we call economic driver strands. One is finance and insurance. We are one of the insurance capitals of the world. Tons and tons of jobs in this area. We have our foundations of insurance and actuarial science. They are housed at Farm Bureau Life here in West Des Moines. If you've seen the Walk Like a Warrior campaign, that was an actual project that they worked on this semester to help prevent falls, and they won a huge grant for the district and actually saved money in preventative communication and saved money for our district. Big project. So if you have interest in actuary, accounting, basically anything business, this is a great class for you. Like we mentioned, you don't necessarily have to have prerequisites, but if you like statistics, this is a great class for you. There's a lot of tech in this class, so they'll help you with some of those, but lots and lots. I'm sure if I asked how many people in the room whose parents work at Principal, Wells Fargo, anything insurance, it's a lot of your parents. There are jobs in this area. Our finance, banking, investments course is launching this spring. It's housed at Lincoln Savings here in Clive. Again, another great business course for anyone that's just thinking, I might want to try something out, banking. There's a lot of flexibility in these courses, so as you start meeting with professionals and working on projects, you're like, you know what, I don't think accounting's for me. I might want to try investment broker. We have lots of time to have you go out and visit with those people, ask about what they do, get you on projects with them. So it's a lot of weeding out of career possibilities. So again, open for anyone that has an interest in business. And this particular class is a really great way to jumpstart your personal finances. There's a lot of personal finance, investments. So if you're someone that's motivated by making a lot of money, this is your class, banking investments. Investment bankers, mortgage underwriters, stock analysts, those type of jobs. There's lots of career opportunities on the website. I encourage you to read through there and see what's out there. So business technology and communications is our next strand. I get a lot of questions about, I'm a band or fine arts person. I don't really see a class for that. This is the field. So we get, I can't tell you how many people that they specifically ask for artists and musicians because they are able to see patterns and be creative and so using those technology tools, but really this strand is good for any career. This strand gets hit more than any other to help out with all the other strands. So anytime they need in the design and communication solutions, anytime they need a video, print pieces, marketing, social media, branding, any of that, those guys, most of them are standing in the back, thank you, because they're the ones that get hit up to do all that work. They are downtown at DLR Group, one of the coolest places to work. I'll tell you, it's my home away from home. It's where I go when I just need some space to get out of the building, and that is really nice to get out of the building and be in a cool spot. Graphic designers, videographers, social media managers, event coordinators, anybody with fine arts background. They do a lot of work with Des Moines Social Club, Civic Center, lots of, what's the venture company that you're doing branding for? They have made connections with A couple people have really a big interest in fashion and sneakers and things like that, so they've reached out and offered to do projects for them. So lots of creativity and lots of work in that particular class. The information management design, design and communication is kind of front-end creative, design it, and then information management design is kind of that programming back-end. But again, great for anybody in tech. We're finding a lot of our students are taking both classes to kind of learn how they fit together. If any of you are athletes in the building, the Waukee Strength and Conditioning app that you use to check in with every day, they built that, and that has been our first offer to buy. So some of our students are the entrepreneurial types. We have other schools that are ready to buy something that's actually still in beta. So that class I could see making quite a lot of money developing some of those projects. So web developers, gamers, programmers, security analysts, anything with information systems management, those are all great careers in that field. Lots of intern opportunities, scholarship opportunities, and job placement. I actually have more jobs sitting right now without rock stars to fill them. I had 5 people contact me this week that want to hire people, and I don't have enough people to fill it. So if you're looking for a job, that's where most of our student interns got paid, was in that stream. Engineering. Right now we have foundations of multidisciplinary design, architecture, and engineering, the longest name possible. We call it FMDAE. It is at Shive Hattery, another really great space, architecture and engineering firm in town. They're working on projects for Hy-Vee, Shive Hattery, a couple I can't even tell you about because they're so big. But hopefully we'll have some big announcements coming out soon that making some big money for some of our business partners. Career opportunities there, obviously architecture, interior design, structural and mechanical engineering, basically anything engineering, landscape architecture, any of that. New class that's coming out next year is called Engineering, Technology, and Robotics. If you have any sort of skills in this area, they are getting students right out of DMAC, which they will pay for you to go to DMAC, starting at $65,000 to $80,000 a year. And it's a lot of gamers. They are dying to find these people. So career opportunities there, manufacturing, engineer, robotics programming, any of the computer integrated manufacturing. It's all the tech pieces that go into building things and robotics. So if you're into drones and all that sort of stuff, that's the class. A new class also coming next year is called Renewable Energy. So anything wind, solar, anything clean energy. Lots of solutions to be had here. I'm sure this will probably be the class that comes up with our first $1 million patent. Students in similar programs like this all over the country have been selling solutions to companies, and they're connected with those people. Student in Blue Valley sold their clean energy patent $2 million out of high school. Great, great program. So anything renewable energy engineer, solar fabricator, wind farm developer, turbine operator, again, lots of great jobs there. Human services. My goodness, this is a huge, huge field. It's actually the #1 biggest growing demand for employees in our state and nation. Lots of exposure to, most people think they want to be a doctor, a nurse, maybe a PT. There are so many jobs out there. So we have our exploration of health sciences and medicine. We actually have 2 sections. We have one at Des Moines University and one at Mercy College, both downtown, and they work on trying out Da Vinci robots. Our morning class was trained as CPR instructors and now getting paid to be instructors. We had our first group that actually went through the IRB and did research and just did their first poster presentation alongside college students. So potential to be published in these courses. Career opportunities, obviously physician, nurse, physician's assistant, surge tech, radiologist, physical therapist, dietitian, so many more. New class coming out this year is called Public and Global Health, and this is a huge need in our society. It's basically the art and science of surrounding preventing disease and promoting health in all forms, and working with solving major challenges, working with the Center for Disease Control, the World Health Organization, big solutions to find there. So healthcare administrator, epidemiologist, research analyst, refugee coordinator, biostatistician, the list of jobs just goes on and on. So And then another one we're really excited about, exploration of exercise and sport science. So this is anything that has to do with improving the quality of life on a scientific basis through physical activity, sport, and exercise. So again, this would be like your physical therapy, occupational therapy, recreational therapy, sports medicine, chiropractic. And there is a potential for students to get certified as trainers, PT, lots of jobs in that area too. So we're really excited about those. Our ag and bioscience strand is actually one of the biggest pieces of our economy in this state, biggest booster for, and looking for lots of solutions for health, safety, help feeding the world. Lots of potential here for business startups, especially at a young age in this one. And we just had a $500 scholarship, I think, through this program with Iowa State. So our first one is Global Food Systems. That's the one that's at Blank Park Zoo. Hopefully you saw some of our animals at lunch today. Not only do you get to hang out at the zoo and feed the animals, that's one of my favorite parts of my job. I get to go hang out with the class and feed the giraffes. But you also get to do things like work with the World Hunger Summit, the World Food Prize, the Cultivation Corridor, all things that happen in Iowa but are very, very global. So this is great for generally a good class for anybody that's a health nut, foodie, wants to help solve the problems of feeding the world. So nutritionists, food safety inspectors, chef, regulatory manager, food engineer, lots and lots of jobs. New ones that we're adding this year, animal and vet science. So some of the jobs that Mrs. Heitland talked about needing to fill vet positions senior year. If you want to try out the class first, you'll get to work alongside our Iowa State vet students that are at Blank Park Zoo. And then obviously veterinary, park manager, food safety manager, animal keepers, things like that. And then we have plant and environmental science. One of our first major projects in this class when the building opens. We're looking to build and operate a greenhouse. Career opportunities in that one, agronomist, botanist, ecologist, environmental scientist, basically anything to do with plants. And again, lots and lots of job opportunities. I can't tell you that. We visited with just this fall term from August to last Monday, over 220 business partners we've met with, and they all want you. And we have those potential to teach you those professional skills, business management and leadership skills, entrepreneurial skills. If any of you ever want to start up a job, this would be the best time to do it. We have an accelerator going in that helps young people start businesses, get you connected with the right lawyers, accountants, patent people, whomever it is, to help you think about what all it takes to start a business. Iowa State all wants you to start a business. Servant leadership would give a lot back to our community, so lots of ways to help support, and then lots of data and ethics. So these are all the big skills that our business partners really want. You get these in all of the classes, so it doesn't really matter which one you pick. You're going to come out with professional skills that, I see my Apex kids nodding. You're going to get some skills that will really help you no matter where you end up falling in a career path. So takeaways from our students, these are the top 5 takeaways that we hear a lot, and we're starting to get those fun emails back from our alumni that I went away to college, I'm not scared to talk to my professor, I nailed the interview, I'm so excited for this internship opportunity. So obviously networking opportunities, exposure and direction for college and career, working on real projects of value, learning expectations in a professional environment, and communication skills and confidence. I hear that over and over and over again. Here's the building. This is the Waukee Innovation and Learning Center. So I have a couple slides to show you. This is kind of that co-working space in the middle. It is not a school, it is a business hub. Cafe area, there will be coffee. I will make sure of that. Hot tea, cocoa, yeah. That's an example of one of the we don't call them classrooms, they're called studios. Fun furniture, fun spaces. One of our pitch spaces and conference rooms that you can set up and have meetings with some of your clients. It's kind of the aerial view looking down. We do have a 3D model of this. If anybody wants to check it out, we can show you the 3D version live. Justin's in the back. We can communications or talk to Mr. Guerin and help you with that. Okay, so here's some rumblings. Hopefully you're excited. Next steps. For me, there's no application and acceptance. If you want to enroll, you pick a class or 2 or 4, enroll. If you don't know, there on your handout there are all the descriptions in those tiny print. They're on our website too. Some of you I talked to even just today, I don't know what to do. What we'd like you to do is to fill out the interest form. It's linked on my website, but you all have it on your handout and it's here too. That will help us get a hold of you and help you pick and help you get to the right place. This is also great if you're not sure APEX or School to Work or APEX and Intro to Ed, fill that out and one of us will get with you and we will give you exactly what you need to register for with your SPA advisor. So again, we have seats open this spring. If you're interested, I'd like you to maybe stick around or you can find my email on the website, get a hold of me. Those spots are filling very quickly, mostly at the zoo and a couple in our programming class downtown. And I will end with the end of the video was family, and the students in APEX hear this all the time. I'm very family oriented, and when I tell the students, once you're in the APEX family, you're in the APEX family for life. So we will support you. We have an alumni group. We will let you know about internship opportunities, job opportunities. We will help you start businesses, even if you're 25 or 35 or 45, all the way on down the road. But I don't have time to meet all of you personally, but if you get in this program, I can meet you, we can help you, coach you up, and try to give you a jump start. So we appreciate your time and your attention today. Please stick around if you have questions. We look forward to having you in one of our programs.